Here, Alexios. The mighty mercenary and traveler has finally made his grand entrance. Only slightly late, too.
Herodotus. Athenians have no problem letting me know when I'm not welcome. It's a relief to see your friendly face.
Don't let the company here tonight intimidate you.
I won't.
Pericles is no king. He needs these guests to love him so that the people love him. And they, in turn, need Pericles. You're no different from any of them.
Do you really think these people will help me?
They will if you get them to trust you. And you've wisely dressed for the occasion. Appearing trustworthy is the most important part of being trusted, after all. Now then, come, let me introduce you to everyone. They may not look it, but this group holds the way to the future on the tip of their opinionated tongues. Ah, Sophocles and Euripides, for example. Two of the most celebrated playwrights to date. No one can throw stones as far as they can. They appear to be locked in some kind of intellectual struggle, as is their way.
He's a writer of comedies, of all things. Comedies, Euripides.
It looks more like a lover's quarrel to me.
Hermippos has also written his fair share of comedies. You should drink more. Lately, his attitudes have garnered him more notice than his works. However, the fellow beside him, Protagoras, is a sophist worthy of as much praise as the great Socrates himself.
I'm not sure great is the term I would use.
Oh, don't let Socrates get under your skin. At least he wore shoes for the occasion. And the poor thing gesticulating like an ape is Thrasymachos. If you listen closely, you'll notice he and Socrates are actually arguing the same points. But the wind from his wild gestures deafens him to critique.
That isn't at all what I mean.
Oh, he never attends his own parties. Which reminds me, there's something I need to get his help with.
Vile Socrates, always appearing where I least expect him. Warrior, protect me from his amorous gaze. Oh, Alcibiades, this is not a time for jealousy, but for love.
Not use Alcibiades as an example. Be good and don't drink too much. So, tell me, what does a Mystios like you think of a party like this?
This party could be fun. Alcibiades drinks like a Spartan. Maybe he fights like one too.
If I could suggest anything, please don't start a fight. Or end one.
Thank you, Herodotus.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Pericles is here somewhere, and I need to prepare him. If he's alone, I'll tell him what your sister said.
You're leaving me alone with these people?
You'll do fine without me, I promise. Just relax, talk to the others, and focus on finding your mother.
And so it isn't the rich and powerful, but the gods who are the source of justice?
No! Of course, I only use the terms war, or god, or civility in the context of what can be observed. So I can observe soldiers fighting, but does that bring me any closer to understanding war?
I haven't seen you around before, citizen. Perhaps you'd like to spare me conversing with this man of nonsense?
Sure, we can talk. What about?
Before Protagoras changed the subject, we were talking about the next great leader of Athens, Cleon.
I saw Cleon speaking at the Pnyx. He's a real man of the people.
So, you have a taste for politics. That's certainly better than most of the elitist blowhards in this house.
I take it you and Pericles aren't friends.
Hardly. Hermippos led the Tsars to have Aspasia ostracized and to see Pericles stripped of power. Not that it worked.
Yet. Pericles is the past. He's more worried about losing a few precious statues than he is fighting and winning the war. Cleon will rule this city and return it to greatness. Mark my words.
Why isn't Aspasia here?
Can you be certain she isn't? To observe her presence is still no guarantee that she is here.
In my opinion, it's just like her to cower in the shadows while we stand out here in the light.
If you're an ally of Cleon, why would Pericles invite you?
You're not from Athens, outsider. Here, we keep our enemies closest of all.
I'm looking for clues to help me find a woman. She was Spartan.
Looking and finding are quite different things, wouldn't you say? I could observe a priest offering sacrifice to the gods, but does that mean, in so doing, that I have myself found God? Or...
Oh, forget it. I'm looking for clues to help me find a woman. She was Spartan.
Looking and finding are quite different things, wouldn't you say? I could observe a priest offering sacrifice to the gods, but does that mean, in so doing, that I have myself found God? Or...
Oh, forget it. This has been useless. Here.
Yes, you come and talk to this infuriating air-blooded. I've had my fill.
A new face in Pericles' abode! Ha! That in itself is a remarkable thing. You must have seen me doing my impression of Cleon. I call it the Orange Ape. Tell me, what does it think?
Did you just call me it? Watch your mouth, Athenian.
It speaks, and so feisty too. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doomed to be the only young and beautiful thing here. So, what do they call you?
Alexios.
I wouldn't peg you as an Alexios, but never mind. I'm Aristophanes, and this man is Evripidis. Oh, go on. Introduce yourself.
I'm Evripidis.
For a playwright, you're not much for words.
Good men lead quiet lives, as old Evripidis likes to say. Don't you, Evripidis? Now, if you'll excuse us, I was just about to dazzle this old dog with my impression of Pericles. I call it the wooden board.
The man is your host.
Under every stone hides a politician, I always say. And Pericles is no different.
Perhaps later. First, explain to me your point again. The Mystios from the ostracism. Let's talk later.
It's come back for more. Care to see my impression of Protagoras? I call it the flapping bladder.
I'm sure he wouldn't.
Well, if you'll excuse us, I'm working on my impression of you. I call it the pretty monkey.
The Mystios from the ostracism.
You're back.
This has been...
The Mystios from the ostracism. Let's talk later.
Care for another impression? My favorite is Sophocles.
That one isn't funny.
Well, if you'll excuse us, I'm working on my impression of you. I call it the pretty monkey.
I'm too busy to deal with you at the moment. Go on now, out of my kitchen.
The Mystios from the ostracism. Let's talk later.
You just got here. You can't leave already.
Someone's being hurt. Or I'll kick it in!
Don't mind her. She likes to watch. Look at you. Such authority. Such a aggression. I can see why Pericles has taken such an interest in you. Did you come to join us?
It sounded like someone was in pain.
Well, it can sometimes be hard to distinguish between sounds of pleasure and pain. Had I known you were going to knock, I would have left my door wide open for you.
I only came to this symposium to find someone.
Sounds like we can help each other then, doesn't it? You fetch us a bit of oil, I help you find who you're looking for. Maybe they're in here.
She's not in there.
I think I'll check all the same.
After your display earlier, it's probably safer I get the oil.
Obedient, too. I knew I liked you. Don't take too long. If you don't get the oil soon, all our fun will end. Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the...
You've grown up in Pericles' home, and yet you're so different.
No one is like Pericles. And he's only slightly more serious than usual, too. Athens is under siege, and he worries for her future. Which is why tonight is a fine time to celebrate what may be our last taste of freedom.
When you walked in, you seemed like you and Socrates were...
How I wish you were right. One day we will have that man in here with us. I promise you that.
I might.
If you come... Thank you for your help, my friend.
Πάυσε πάρα αυτά. Οι οφθαλμοί μου πεσεύουσι.
Just can't stay away, can you? Did you bring the oil?
You've grown up in Pericles' home, and yet you're...
No one is like Pericles. And he's only slightly more serious than usual, too. Athens is under sea, which...
I might be back.
If you...
I suppose you've come in here to mock me for my fight with Euripides.
I've seen lots of fights. That wasn't one.
I really made a fool of myself this time, didn't I? I'm Sophocles, though I'm sure you knew that. And you are?
I am looking for information that will help me find someone. A Spartan woman.
A Spartan woman in Athens. Sounds intriguing. Though, if you expect me to notice someone other than myself, you expect too much. You could talk to Euripides. He's the second most worldly man here. That pediculous, xanthodontus exophthalmic Morosov. But he doesn't talk without a drink.
I have no idea what that meant.
No, you don't.
You want to get Euripides drunk. Are you hoping he's going to make an even bigger scene than you did?
Ha! We both know that's not possible. But you're a feisty one, to say the least.
All right. If nothing else, this party could use the help.
You need to pick the right wine for this task. The kitchen should have what you need. Let me know when Euripides is done in, and I'll slip away unseen.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I am the greatest dramatist in the land, mentor to Euripides, lover of Asclepios, father of theater, and so on, and so on.
I'm sure it's a real honor to have you hiding in his kitchen. You're awfully worked up over every Pidis. You sure you're just friends?
I'm never just anything, foreigner. Though I confess, Euripidis and I hold a bond deeper than brotherhood.
How do you know Pericles?
I believe you mean to ask me, how does Pericles know you? I'm the greatest
I'll get the wine.
Wonderful.
It would...
Care for another impression? My favorite is so...
That
When I need to relax...
Quickly! Bring him...
after my...
You and Aristophanes could...
A competition?
Ah! Wonderful!
Well, if you brought us...
I'm only here because I'm certain...
And yet it...
Why?
It's he who should apologize.
Sophocles is a friend, and one good friend...
Pericles has invited all of you here for some reason.
Either we dine here and praise Pericles, or we dine with Cleon. But Cleon has all the charm of a typical politician. A horrible voice, bad breeding, and vulgar manners.
I'll return. And when I do, you two will drink up.
Care for another...
That one...
Why?
It's he...
Sophocles is a...
Why?
It's he who should apologize.
Sophocles is a friend.
Why?
It's he who should...
Sophocles...
I'll return. And when I do, you two will drink up.
Save for that arrogant playwright. I don't see many distinguished guests in here. Can I help you with something?
I'm here for your sweet wine.
Yes, take it. But get out of my kitchen. I'm very busy, you know.
Thank you for your help, my friend.
Care for another impression?
Let's conjure Dionysos, shall we?
This is pure swill.
Amateur. In my day, this would be considered nectar of the gods. Another round!
Ready for more?
Yeah, I can hardly stomach this pig's piss.
I could outdrink both of you with one hand. Let's have some more.
You ready for another?
This wine is terrible.
You, I like you. Who brought you here?
I brought myself. I'm on the trail of a woman who fled Sparta a long time ago.
Fled? Why?
She lost 2 children. She had no choice.
She fled to heal a broken heart. Every piece, write her into a play.
I've heard Spartan mothers go to a sanctuary in Argolis to beg Asclepios for his divine pity. I should know, it's my home.
After what she went through, I'm not sure she would trust priests.
Oh, then she sought my friend, Hippocrates. He's a physician, best of the best. He still keeps his office in Argos. If she went to him for help, there's no doubt he'd have given it.
Come back if you want to sing with me.
I'll think about it. Hippocrates in Argos. Here I come.
Dionysos, there you are. Everyone else here is boring. Let's play a singing game. You like to sing? You like to sing.
Let's do this.
I want to play too, but who should start?
I think you should, Aristophanes.
Fine, fine. But let's do a good one. A battle song?
Is there any other kind?
At the flick of a limb comes Aspasia's whim, and Pericles' walls aim to contain us all within.
The war has come to Athens. No time to...
And we have no time to care what happens. So take your sword and shield. Let blood paint what you wield, until the boys lay like wheat upon the fields.
Oh, so bring your merchants and bring their butlers. If they be sons, they bring their fathers. This is war, war, war.
Bring your murderers to the crimson quiver. Bring the helots if they be spillers. It is war, war, war.
War is tough. The more we fight, the more we...
The more we love. Let the juices flow from heart to spear. We have nothing to fear when death is near. Our bodies bring with them nothing they hold dear.